You ever wonder if there's some kind of hidden connection, a single thread that ties together something like language, the human body, and, I don't know, the laws of physics? Well, today, we're diving into a theory that says yes, absolutely, and tries to connect it all.
I mean, it sounds like the beginning of a really weird joke, right? What do an ancient alphabet, the Olympics, and quantum physics have in common?
And here's where it all comes from. Yeah, that's the actual title. It's a mouthful, I know. But the core idea here is a proposal for a kind of search engine for solving Earth's problems. It's trying to combine language, the physics of vibration, and a model of the planet to tackle some huge challenges. It's a massive vision, and we're about to unpack how it all supposedly fits together. Okay, let's get into it. The entire theory doesn't start with a physics equation or a complex formula. It starts with a really powerful ancient metaphor, and it's all rooted in the Gurmukhi alphabet. So for those of you who might not know, Gurmukhi is the script used for the Punjabi language. But in this theory, it's so much more than just letters on a page. The idea is to reimagine these letters as a dynamic, living system, a collection of basic sounds that have their own structure and purpose. And this is where it gets really interesting. The theory turns the abstract idea of grammar into this really physical metaphor. Picture this. The 35 letters are a herd of sheep. The rules of grammar? That's the shepherd, guiding the herd. And the vowel marks, or palaliyas they're called, they act as the shepherd's staff, the tool that you use to direct and control each specific sound. So you're probably asking, how in the world do we get from a shepherd and a bunch of letter sheep to the human body? Well, the theory proposes a direct, almost literal map from the sounds of the alphabet right onto our own anatomy. Okay, check this out. This is the next big leap. The alphabet gets mapped directly onto our bodies. The consonant sounds, from the kaka sound at the back of the throat to the papa sound at the lips, they correspond to the physical parts of the mouth that actually make them. Breathing is linked to the vowels. And get this, the forehead is seen as a plate of cymatics. Cymatics is basically the study of how vibrations create patterns. So the idea here is that our thoughts literally generate energy and patterns right on our forehead. And it just keeps expanding outward, from the body to the entire planet. The theory suggests that the human body is basically a miniature, self-similar model of Earth itself. You can see it here. Our hair is like the planet's forests. Our veins and blood are like rivers. Even something as personal as a heart attack is seen as a parallel to a global disaster like an earthquake. It even compares our two eyes to the sun and the moon. So here's the crucial point. If all of these systems, language, the body, the cosmos, if they're all really connected, then there must be a single universal formula that runs through all of them. And you guessed it, the theory proposes one. And there it is. Looks pretty simple, doesn't it? E equals O plus IA. According to the author, this little equation is the master key. It's the underlying mathematical structure for describing pretty much any process in the entire universe. All right, let's break this down real quick. It's a formula for, well, any process. O is the origin, the start. A is the end, the final state. And I is the really important part. It's the middle bit, the action or the transition that gets you from the beginning to the end. This could be a 100-meter dash, the way a sentence is built, or even how energy flows. Now, to prove that this formula is as versatile as it claims, the theory uses the 10 events of the Olympic decathlon as its main case study. I mean, what better place to test a formula that claims to model every kind of action, right? And the formula actually adapts, which is pretty neat. So for running events, which are linear, the basic E equals O plus I formula works perfectly. You've got a start, you've got motion, you've got a finish. But for throwing events like shot put, it changes. The focus here is on the force coming from one point, the athlete, to create a trajectory. And what about something super complex like the pole vault? Well, the formulas actually combine. A pole vault isn't just one simple motion, it's a whole sequence. As the author puts it, you run with energy, throw with force, and pole vault with power dimensions. Each piece of that action is described by a version of that core equation, all stacking up to model the whole event. So what's the end game here? What's the ultimate goal of this huge, sprawling theory? The author actually gives it a name, Phil's selfology, which is like a philosophy of the self that you can apply to everything. It's meant to be a practical tool,
a kind of conceptual search engine for reality you can use to solve actual problems. And a list of things it claims it can be applied to is, well, it's staggering. We're talking about everything from managing a city's water supply to calculating the calories in your lunch. From creating new medicines to developing a universal language based on breathing, the theory suggests its formulas can literally provide a new way of thinking for almost every field you can imagine. So, what does this all boil down to? It's really a search for the number one pattern, one formula, one underlying system. It's a massive attempt to find the one inside of the many, to take all the chaotic complexity of our universe and distill it down to a single, elegant idea that connects everything.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? We've just walked through an incredibly ambitious theory, one that tries to draw a straight line from the sound of a letter all the way to the orbit of the sun. The real question isn't whether it's all perfectly right, but what we can learn from someone trying so hard to find that one single unifying pattern in everything.